Hello everyone and welcome to this session of programming with Java. In this session we are going to see what do we mean by arrays in Java. So what are arrays? Arrays are basically sequence of values which belong to a similar data type. So let's say for example we have a sequence of numbers. Now the sequence of number consists of the different numbers such as 40, 55, 63, 17, 22, 68, 89, 97 and 89, and all of these numbers belong to a data type of integer. So since this is a sequence and each values are stored consecutively in the block of memory, so we will say this is an array. Now each element of an array is indexed at a particular position. These elements are used to index at the particular position so that we can access them and store values at those locations. So for example, the first element of our array is 40 and it is indexed at the 0th position. And since the elements are stored consecutively in the array, the second element of the sequence, that is 55, will be stored at the first position. And similarly, the third element will be stored or indexed at the second position, and the fourth element will be indexed at the third position, and so on. So in array, all the elements are stored consecutively in a sequential manner, and each element is indexed at the particular position, where first element is indexed at the 0th position respectively. Now let's see how do we create an array in Java. For creating an array, we have three-step process. First we create the array, afterward we allocate memory for the elements of the array, and in the end we declare the different elements. So let's head over to Eclipse and see how does we perform it practically. So the first point is how do we create an array. To create an array, we use the syntax as follows. First we write the type of data type which makes up the value of our array. So for example, in the previous example, we have the numerical data type, or basically the integer data type. Now integer data type is represented by the int keyword. Followed by, we will write the name of our array in which our values is going to be stored. And afterward, we will use the empty bracket signs to represent that this is going to be an array and not some single variable. So we will first write the keyword, that is int, because the type of values are going to be integer, followed by the name of the variable of our array. Let's say it is a, followed by the bracket signs. And in Java we know that every statement is incomplete without the semicolon sign. So by this we have created an array in Java. Now mere creating an array is not sufficient. Currently this array is empty and it has null value, and we have to allocate spaces in the memory block to this array A. So for this purpose we have to use the second step. The second step was we have to allocate the spaces to our array. So for that we will do, first write the name of the variable followed by the equal sign, and afterward we will use the new operator followed by the data type of our array, and afterward the total number of element. So for example, let's say our array is going to store 5 different values. So then we will write first the name of our array, which is a in our case, followed by assignment operator. Afterward we will use the new keyword, new operator, followed by the type of our array, which is integer, and followed by the total number of values our array is going to store, which is 5 in our case. So we will say 5 followed by the semicolon sign to complete the statement. So this is how we have allocated 5 locations or 5 spaces to this array A. Currently all the different 5 elements which we have allocated to our array A is currently prescribed at the 0, and as we go on declaring the different element, the elemental values will replace those 0 values. So now if we want to describe the elements of our array, we will first write the name of our array followed by the big bracket signs, and within big bracket signs we will use the index position, let's say 0, because we are going to store the element at the first position, followed by the assignment operator and the element value. Let's say 10 is stored at the index position, so we will write 10 followed by the semicolon sign. Similarly, if we want to store values at other positions, then we will write the name of our array followed by big bracket signs. Within big bracket signs, we will write the index position, which is 1. 1 denote the second position, followed by, let's say it is storing a value of 20. Similarly, if we want to store at the third position, we will write a2 is equals to 30. Similarly, if we want to store at the fourth position, we will write a3 is equals to 40, and similarly at fifth position we will write a4 is equals to 50. Now we cannot use the a5 syntax because we have only allocated 5 position specifically to our array, and we have already used the index 4. So Java will give us a runtime error if we will go on and try to use the a5 syntax. Now if we want to access this, then we can do that by using the system class, and in the system class specifically the println method. So if you remember, we used to write system dot out dot println, and within the parentheses we used to write the variable we want to access. Here we want to let's say access the first element, so we will write a0 followed by the semicolon sign at the end of a statement to terminate our statement. And if we will run this, we will get 10 as an output. Similarly, if we want to access, let's say, third element, which is storing the 40 element value, so we will write a3, and if we run this again, then we will get 40 as an output. Now this whole process is very cumbersome in nature because it is a 3-step process. Now Java allow us to basically replace all this and just declare all the array and the values it is going to be stored in a single line. So let's say if we remove all of this and we want to declare an array, then we will do this by the following method. So we will do that by first writing the type of our variable or type of our array, followed by the name of our array, followed by the bracket signs, and after it we will declare the elemental values within the curly braces. So for example, if we want to create the same array A, which was storing the 5 different values of 20, 20, 30 and 50, then we will do that by writing first the type, followed by the name, followed by the big bracket signs, using the assignment operator, and within the curly braces we will write the different values that were 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. And if I want to run it again, then I can use the system class, that system.out dot println. Let's say we want to print the second position followed by the semicolon sign, and if I run it, Java is giving me an error. Let's see what is the error. Okay, we have forgot the semicolon sign, so we will write semicolon here, and after it if we will run it again, then we will get 30 as an output. So here basically we replace all those 3 steps and we replaced it by a single step, and we don't have to describe the total number of values it is going to be stored, and we can replace 50 by 60 and it will just work the fine. So this is how we define array in Java. In the next session we will see other concepts of Java in detail. Thank you.